A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome all of you to A2Y. I'm Yasas, and as you know, my co-host Azi is joining me as well. Hi, Azi. How are you?
Hey, yes. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. After a week, we meet again.
Absolutely. After a week, we meet again. I thought of doing something different. Every single day, we sit and talk, right? So today, I'm going to stand and talk.
Okay. I don't see much of a difference. I'm seated, but I can look like I'm standing as well. Anyway, Azi, so today's episode is a official first episode of A2Y, right? And for our viewers, our followers, we thought
Yes,
we'll bring in new
yes.
information. We are going to take themes probably every month. And today we thought, since it's March and it's a very important year, especially end of a financial year and planning of a new
Hmm.
financial year, let's start talking about sales, customers, so on and so forth. What do you think, Asi?
Absolutely, yes. What I personally believe it's not only March, even though most of the organization are stepping into new years, but still we really have to consider taking care of our customers. When you talk about customers, obviously customer needs. So let's talk about that today within this 15 minutes.
Definitely. So let's start by identifying and meeting our customer needs. And for us to start on this, Asi, uh, let's start with this. Why? Why is this important?
Yes. Yes, I am personally fond of this particular topic. Right? I can't stress enough the importance of understanding the customer's actual needs. But as salespeople, like you and I, we are sales guys, right? As salespeople, are we actually using time to understand the customer's needs truly? Most of the time, what I really feel is we come up with assumptions. We come up with assumptions and we believe those assumptions. And that's a common mistake most of the salespeople do. I used to do that.
Okay, Asi,
And
let me stop you
considering
there.
that,
Sorry.
yes.
Let me stop you there. But I thought some time ago, right? They used to say the best salesman is
Mm.
someone who can sell ice to an Eskimo, right? Is that true? I mean, shouldn't a good salesperson be able to go and sell even the useless thing to the customer?
Let me ask this question back from you as does Eskimos really need ice? Right? So we are using this the what do you call it, this term most of the
Terminology.
time. We have to
Asi, I think we are lagging a bit. There's some connection disruption. Anyway, so let me take it from there. So as Asi was saying, uh, that is what people used to say about salespeople. They used to say salespeople are people who could sell ice to an Eskimo. But that is not true. That is not how it should be, because a good salesperson or a good organizer should really know who their customer is and what the exact customer needs are about. And that is how they could target and go ahead with their products. And that is why it is important for us to identify and meeting our customer needs. We need to really know how and why we should be doing it, and who these customers are, and how do we really manage it. Aziz, we lost you for a few seconds. Are you back?
I am back. You know what happens in Sri Lanka
Oh no.
when the good stuff comes, the connection interrupts. Well, this is part of the learning journey as well, right? Isn't it, Yasas?
Definitely, definitely. So I quickly covered why it is important, Nazi. So shall we go into needs? What is the difference? What do we talk? What do we mean by needs? Yes, Nazi. I think I can see you. Yes, we can see you, Nazi. So
Yeah,
question is, what
I
kind
am
of need?
so sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry. There's a huge issue with my connection today, the network, Yasas. So I'm
What kind of needs
assuming
is what
you are
we're
hearing me. Yeah, I'm
saying.
assuming you are hearing me.
Yes, yes.
Right. Awesome. Right. Let's get into business. So one of the most, I would say, a biggest mistake a salesperson does is we think about assumption. We assume these are the things that the customer is going through. These are the challenges that the customer is going through. But what I really feel is when we assume something, we already know assumptions are not the reality. Right? So actually identify and extract these needs. That
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought I was talking. My mic was mute. So I was just explaining. Sorry about the connection problem. Uh, I was just explaining the difference between want and need. Want is always when we want things, but a need is very specific. It's very specific to a particular problem, a requirement. I'll give you an example. Hunger is a need. A want could be eating Chinese, eating a special meal, because you could fulfill your hunger with eating bread, rice, or any meal, and that's how you fulfill your needs. So we as companies, as salespeople, as managers need to really look at how can we fulfill needs of our customers. What are these needs? Without that identification, we cannot really move on. Azi, I think we need your virtual background setup. Is there a possibility I can see you? I can add you onto the stream. Okay, so let me add you. Hi, Azi.
Right. Connect me as it is, Yasas. Well, I can't switch on, connect my virtual background, but anyway, I suppose that you're talking about needs. So,
Yes.
what I really feel is, like humans are basically emotional beings, Yasas. And emotional beings, we have two needs. One is the rational need, and other one is the emotional needs. So, rational needs comes into function. Say for an example, if let's say customer is looking about cost, maybe the quality or the maybe convenience. So those are rational things. What is this emotional stuff? Emotional stuff are the things that we actually desire. The client really actually desire. The senses, the sense of belongingness, and also feeling understood. So these are the things that customer actually need. So one of the things that as sales guys that we have to really focus is understand this rational need along with the emotional need. But personally, what I feel is if we understand the emotional need, that's where the magic comes into play, Yasas. Because the decision of rational comes through this emotional requirement. So as a sales guy, if we can fulfill that emotional need of that client, bang, we can win the game.
Azi, can you quickly take an example of what is an emotional need and what is a rational need? If you take a real life example, so
Right.
so maybe traveling, right? So I need a car. What is the rational need and what is the emotional need?
I'll give you a very good example. So this happened today in the morning. You know that I'm a fitness fanatic. Right? So my coach asked me, Asi, you have to send me 8,000 steps. You have to count and send it. So I didn't have a way to count the steps. So counting the steps. So that's a rational requirement. That's a rational need.
That's
so
the problem
I
statement,
must
right?
have a... Sorry?
That's the problem statement, counting the
It's a problem statement. Absolutely, it's a problem statement. And I didn't have a proper way of counting the steps. So my rational need is focus in how can I count my steps, how can I manage my steps, right? And how can I monitor my heart rate? All those information falls under rational need. But emotional factor is emotionally I do the workout, I go to the gym. Everything is for me to feel fit, to feel happy. So that comes through the emotional part. I hope that I answered your question.
That's a good example. So that's how we could rationalize between the rational need and the emotional need. So because in the interest of time, let's go into the next point: impact. What are we talking here, Aziz? What is solution versus impact we are talking here?
Oh, I used to sell solutions. But I really love the fact of the focusing on the impact. When you actually focus or emphasize on the impact of the customer's pain point, that's where you support the client to understand the seriousness of the issue, seriousness of the challenge. And when you focus on the impact and share those information, we are actually supporting the client to understand their future potential risks, also threats. Rather than selling solutions, Yasas, what I recommend, I'm actually doing it right now, even right now. So we have to talk about the impact. This is how we are going to serve you. This is what's going to happen if we focus on the impact.
Exactly. So I'll take the same example, Asi, that you were talking about, what you experienced today, right? So the solution is get a Fitbit or get some device that is counting your steps and could give you the heart rate. But the impact is the fitness, how you're going to get fitter by having more steps, making sure across the day that you have those steps, and really having a better healthy situation. So that's the impact. So you sell the impact but not the solution. If you sell the impact, you're selling the dream, you're selling an answer to the problem statement, and that would have a solution, which is what you're selling as a product or a service or whatever it is. I hope I was correct in that.
Absolutely. I wanted to add another point to what you said also. Yes, I say the coach actually used this. So he said, if you don't send me the steps, this is what's going to happen, because he has given me a certain target. So he emphasized on the target, you will fail achieving this target. So he reminded me the impact.
Yes. So you had a clear goal, a clear impact. If you don't do it, what's going to happen next? Great.
Correct.
So with that, Aziz, now people are talking about this. We all believe, we have gut feeling as an entrepreneur or as a business leader, as a manager. We all feel our product is the best. We feel our product or solution is the best. But one of the biggest problems is really finding out if that product or solution or service is the right thing for the audience. Now, for this, I would like to take this particular word or the statement, which is called validated learning. We need to validate our product, our service, our solution, which we have that will fulfill the impact, which will fulfill the rational and emotional needs of a particular customer. Now, how do we do this? This is something even now, as you know, at Hash33, we do this quite often when we get a product. Especially, we're talking not in consulting business at the moment, we're talking of products and direct services. You need to validate and find out, is there real requirement? Are we talking to the right audience? Are we giving the right solution? So this is a hypothesis, because when you have the product or service, there's a hypothesis that this will sell, or this is the particular audience that would use this solution. So example, if I'm bringing a Fitbit, I'm assuming the gym market or the fitness industry, people who go to a gym are the real audience, the customer that would buy the Fitbit. That's a hypothesis, but we need to test it. How do we test it? We test it through experimentation. So this is one important thing. Most of the time, marketing and sales people and business leaders, they kind of forget this step. There's no validated learning. So there's this amazing book, Kazi, that I would recommend anyone to read. It's called The Lean Startup. It's a bit old. It's by an author called Eric Rice. I would strongly recommend it. It's based out of the Toyota Production System. Maybe as we go on, Azi, we can talk more about it. We can probably post a blog article about some of the learnings from that. They clearly define about validated learning. They talk about the build, measure, and learn cycle. They talk about how Kaizen, which is continuous improvement, can be brought in. Are all good concepts that needs to be linked with our products, with our services, with our sales approach. So Azi, I think we are trying to compact and pack everything into 15 minutes. It's
15
not
minutes.
easy. I think if you, as a listener, as a participant, as part of our audience, could start commenting either on our LinkedIn page or our Facebook page or our YouTube channel, then what we can do is we can bring in actual information that you would be looking for. And stay tuned because we have a lot more information we are going to share. As I said, this month of March, we're going to talk more related to sales, forecasting, budgeting, and identifying the real needs because we believe this is something that you need, as Asi said, throughout the year. But if we do it this month in particular, it's going to help you in the new financial year, especially if your financial year starts in April. So that's all I have to say. Azi, anything as a concluding statement from your side?
Oh, yes. Well, I'm relating what you said. So, my friends, can I call them friends? We can actually call them friends,
Of
right?
course,
So,
of course.
everyone who's watching are friends, actually. So, my friends, we are committed to taking time to listen to you. And listening means that whenever you send us messages, whenever you comment, that's listening for us. And that's information for us. And by doing that, we try to understand your need and we can provide you the best possible experience.
And we want to create an impact in your life by what we deliver, right?
I see.
So, ladies, gentlemen, friends, anyone who's out there watching us, following us, thank you very much for spending a little over 15 minutes. We will be back next Thursday at 6:30 Sri Lanka time or 5 o'clock UAE time. And I hope, Azik, you will have better luck with your connection next time. So with that,
We never know, but we are ready for anything.
we're ready for anything. We're signing off from A to Y. I'm Yazas. Azi. And that's Azi. So see you next week. Take care.